This segment, just want to point out, I got a topic when I took Knicks over Celtics. This guy's getting a whole segment over here. No, I'm just kidding. This was an unbelievable call. Sean was right about the Thunder on the West. Tried to get me to join. I've been a Thunder hater well past this season, well past the guys on the team. But my goodness gracious, Sean, did they just put a hack it in 5 beat down in from my cap? These are 2 top 5 defenses. This isn't like a Pacers team that's all, oh, no, D. I mean, this T-Wolves team had length. They had a little bit of depth. Sure, they were a reshuffled club, but if this was a Julius Randle 2.0 that we had seen the first 2 rounds, I thought they had a puncher's chance. Boy, was I wrong. One mail it in. Game 3 that the Thunder clearly, I mean, maybe they embody the Celtics from last year. They drop a game that means absolutely nothing in the grand scheme of things. But yeah, man, this segment's all you. I'm about to lay out.
No,
take my medicine.
It's the other way. I mean,
I'm still going down with the East in the final.
Yeah,
I don't want to block your shine though. This was a great cap, great call, and boys look unbelievable. And they're the youngest team since Bill Walton's late 70s Blazers. If they pull this off, and that is a true, incredible stat that I was kind of hanging my hat on, just like the Missoula thing last year.
This is the thing about the age thing. The MVP of their team in the league isn't young. They have a guy in iHeart that's experienced from last year with the Knicks.
Caruso has a ring.
Caruso who gets a lot of minutes.
And has a ring, let's not forget it.
Has a big heartbeat, has a ring from the Lakers. He's not young.
You know him well too, Bull.
Lou Dort is youngish, but he's been around legitimately playing that style of basketball for almost 4 or 5 seasons now with the Thunder. The young guys are Chet, who overall has an easy life, especially offensively.
Oh, this dude's getting national commercials doing
Cason Wallace
nothing.
Is awesome, but overall has an easy life. And what I mean by easy life is the role is clear as day. Jalen Brunson, honestly, his role is clear, but on a night to night,
it's exhausting.
He doesn't know what he has to do.
Well, it's everything, but yeah.
Well, that's what I'm saying. And he's figuring it out throughout the game, right? Cason Wallace, Isaiah Joe, like all these guys' role is extremely clear. And then you got a guy that you could the thing that makes Brunson and all these guys special, and the problem that some people have, including myself with Halliburton, you can pencil in SGA for 36 and 6 no matter what.
Yeah.
You can pencil Giannis Antetokounmpo for 32, 12, and 5 no matter what. How are we going to backfill the rest and get W's? Against the Indiana Pacers, you can guarantee Jalen Brunson is going to score 30-plus without a lot of resistance, if we're being honest.
Which is crazy because Nesmith is not a terrible defender.
No, he's not.
The physicality, he's all over him. They're throwing doubles, blitzes. He still makes it look easy.
Brunson and Cat kill them. They have every game all year, last year, regular season, and in this playoffs. So when you start talking about them being young and what they're being asked to do, it doesn't match. The guys that are being asked to do the most and impact the most had a little more experience than the overall average of the team.
The youth angle, which we only saw in the Denver series, truly, was how you're going to react when the games get tight down the stretch and you're going against a team with more experience.
Did you even see it? I guess J-Dub is young.
I just didn't see that. That's the only thing I'm clinging to. That when these games
when it got tight,
close,
they had 2 fourth quarter comebacks.
No, they had a couple. They had a couple moments
even
in the
when
Denver.
They were down 2-1.
The Denver, they got to thank the Nuggets in a lot of ways for giving them some tests that now they're. I got to give them a little bit of credit. Of course, they're battle tested a lot more than they were to start the playoffs, but because a little bit of the Boston kind of thought of this year, you were plus 1,000 in point differential. You didn't even play in close games. So you're young.
Yeah.
No one but Caruso has a ring, and you haven't been in these situations. Maybe that's worth something. But then, the West just broke down like a Jenga tower, man. I mean, it was unbelievable.
It didn't break down. It was broken down.
Listen,
possession by possession.
I will never get the Warriors Thunder. I wanted it.
Have you ever seen a group of collective players look as frustrated as the Timberwolves did in back-to-back games like that?
No, and
they
almost
didn't even want to bring the ball up.
And
it
that
was
very disappointing. It was the youth. It was again, it's kind of like we talk about with a little bit in the Indiana Knicks element, where if the game's not going your way, the shots aren't falling, the little things. Like when Ant threw the ball at SGA on the ground in the first couple, I don't know if it was game 1 or game 2.
Yeah.
I loved that because that's almost kind of emblematic of what you were saying you wanted Mitch Rob to do to Hallie when he stuffed him, right? Like, after your little whistle and your baby back throw the ball at his face. It's going to be a long series, and Gobert's our guy. And it just never came to fruition. Julius Randle went back to Pelicans Julius Randle. Forget about Knicks Julius Randle. This guy was next level poor. Now, he had buckets in 1 or 2 games, but those are, one of those games was garbage time buckets.
He had 2 games single digits, and then the other, he had a
can't happen. And I think there was an element of Ant, look, is he my big brother in this moment, or actually I got to be the young guy to step up? And clearly he's the one, but
I honestly think that it's the Thunder defense.
Well, this is what they do to you.
Clearly.
So the only shot,
incredible.
The only shot in the West were the veteran teams, which is why I was clinging to a Warriors futures ticket and why I was looking at the Nuggets, because they have the championship pedigree. They know, when these moments come. But yeah, man, credit to you, credit to the futures ticket.
Yeah, I think it's just
Let's go.
I think it's just a testament of really truly believing your eyes in some of this stuff. Like, sure, they don't have a lot of experience. Sure, they have some younger guys that are going to be playing tougher minutes.
Sure.
But man, these are historic performances. They were a juggernaut all year long. Bill Simmons had a tweet that I retweeted that I thought was something that's like really jumped off. But this is the type of stuff they've been doing all year. Thunder are 8-1 at home in the playoffs. They won the 8 games by 51, 19, 43, 7, 32, 36, 15, and 30.
And the youngest team in 50 years to make the finals.
Teams are not doing that.
Nearly 50 years.
That is, they're plus 231 in 9 home games. Teams don't do that. They were a special squad, and it was clear early on that they were different. 3rd year in a row, SGA scored 30 points a game. Coming off almost winning the MVP, he was going to be top 2, top 3 again, barring injury. Chet, more experience. They fill the perfect holes that they had in adding size in Hartenstein, and then adding another defensive veteran stopper off the bench in Caruso. It's a combination of roster construction. It's a combination of really liking each other and having chemistry.
Yeah, it matters a lot.
I mean, if you even look at the Pacers, this is the exact same team from last year.
Continuity was huge.
Almost 1 through 9.
Yeah, that's. I went on record saying, and I'm taking a lot of heat for it, the West was lost, but also won by all these veterans completely bottling it. The Warriors are trying to piecemeal a trade deadline. The Lakers are trying to piecemeal a trade deadline. The Suns completely blew an entire trade with Beal.
Making trades, denying trades.
You actually look back on it, you're like, all right, it might have been Denver and maybe, believe it or not, the other pups, the Rockets, just because they could go D on D with them. But, the Warriors took down the Rockets.
And then I really, really loved the Thunder and what they've been doing all year. But a big part of this was I was looking at the rest of the Western Conference, and I was saying, where's the threat going to be here? Denver looked very mediocre for big chunks of the year.
Yeah, and bottom 10 defense, too.
Like, at
real
the break,
bad
they
defense.
They were 15th or 16th in defense. Like, they were getting
annihilated
on defense.
Terrible.
They had no real bench, and we're going to be relying on Russell Westbrook, who I love, one of my all-time favorite players, to knock down shots. That's not what he does. So then you look at
That's a bad sentence.
You look at the Lakers. They're an entirely brand new team and a brand new culture that are going to have to try to figure things out. They made that deal at the break. Every time us NBA fans do this, it never works. LeBron James, Dwayne Wade, Bosh go to Miami. Auto title. They lost in the finals. They come back, they win it the next year. Durant goes to Golden State, they win the title. That's a little different. But
Yeah.
Durant, Booker, Beal, surefire possible favorite to win the West. Dust. So Luka goes to LA, LeBron, they can make the Western Conference Finals. They have no size. They don't play a lot of D. Luka's still out of shape. Luka's trying to figure out where he's going to live, and then they're getting thrust into a full-blown playoff run. So
having said all that,
there's all like, as much as I love the Thunder, there was nobody that could really threaten them. And the real younger squad combined with not as much talent was the Rockets for me. Like, for example, the Thunder older guys are SGA, who's the best, second best player in the league right now, maybe, MVP, and then you got a guy like Hardenstein, who's a role player, who's really good, but like Caruso, who's already a proven champ. The other older guys on the Rockets are Fred VanVleet. He's good, champion with the Raptors. He's not SGA. And then who's the other veteran guy? Dylan Brooks?
Jeff Green, if that counts.
Yeah, you know what I mean? So, like, even the veteran guys weren't as good and wouldn't be able to keep up with the guys on the Thunder. So
you feel this way about them in the finals, regardless if it's New York or Indiana.
A little bit of a perfect storm.
Because they're minus 750 right now. That's a big tell by Vegas. I actually think
I couldn't bet against the Thunder right now, man. I don't care who they're playing. I'm going to be rooting for the Knicks, and hopefully they get there, and I think they have a real chance to get there.
Who do you think has a better shot to take down the Thunder, Indiana or New York?
I believe it would be the Knicks because they're bigger. Like,
do you get excited at the thought that the Knicks could beat the Thunder, or no?
The Thunder's weakness is the glass. They can't rebound for the most part. They're not a good rebounding team. So that would be a big advantage.
One thing between Thunder and Pacers is the Thunder are actually first in pace in the playoffs this year.
Yeah,
they're number one.
Pacers are really bad. The Thunder are a really bad matchup for the Pacers. A team that wants to get out and run versus a team that runs and is young and will turn you over is a nightmare situation for the Pacers. So,
two of the three lowest scoring playoff quarters were against the Thunder defense of all time. The Nuggets, they held them to 8 points, then held the T-Wolves to 9 points.
Yeah,
like, that's
silly.
It's a special defensive group, man.
Yeah.
Like, that is to hold teams. Forget about the Timberwolves. To hold Jokic and Murray and Porter, and I know he was dealing with the shoulder, to 9 points or 8 points in a frame is unbelievable. So they're just a special defensive group, and the West had no real comp for them.
Yeah,
So
my Skip Bayless take is they beat two teams with no coach and one team that hadn't played in the playoffs. So they might get slept in the finals.
And that's another example of just you kind of have to look at the grand scope.
Yeah.
Like if you can go down every single team in the West, and there's clear, even just off the floor culture reasons why they weren't going to beat the Thunder. The Thunder and the Pacers, who we talked about, have been playing together the last 3 seasons. Almost the same guys, identical coach through 1 through 8.
Except they got Caruso and Hardenstein.
Yeah, they add guys, but they don't lose it. They don't lose anybody. They
don't
add
lose
guys,
anybody.
don't lose anybody.
Yep.
Nuggets lose a coach at the end of the year who won the title and the GM. Clearly, stuff is unraveling behind the scenes back there, no matter what anybody wants to say.
Yeah.
That stuff doesn't happen. The Lakers add Luka mid-season and don't have any bigs, and they're still trying to figure that out. The Rockets are the only ones that maybe could compete, but they're young and still trying to get things together. And then you look at Golden State. They add Jimmy at the break. They're scrambling and trying to get that stuff going. They have no depth. Kuminga wasn't getting minutes. It's just like every other team had issues except the Thunder, and the Thunder were also very good. So that was a big part of the reason why I had to back them for not enough money. I should have retired.
Yeah, no, it's a good cash, good cap, and they are the youngest team since Bill Walton's late 70 Blazers. at an average age of 25.56 years. But on to the T-Wolves next and their next steps on the Juice Bar. Make sure to check out the Juice Bar across all mediums. We're on Apple. We're on Spotify. Sean Little at Chicago Flow. Alex Monaco at Moneyline Monaco. We are rocking every week at MSG Networks. Tune in.